My name is Radovan Bacovic. I really come from Serbia, and I think what the Kepler said, Paris is always a good idea. So my first time in Paris, actually spent a couple of days with my family here on vacation. So I just prolonged my staying here to be on this nice conference. And yeah, actually what we should discuss today is future. And how, please, hello, welcome. Hello, welcome. We just started, so you didn't miss anything. A little fake is needed, yeah?
Tell you, negotiation was just decreased by 75%.
This is good, right? Humongous. Yeah, as I said, today we will talk about how we create and also explain use case. You can see two.
The camera stop?
Yeah, of course. I will wait. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Please sit. Yeah. Oh, it's very relaxing in France. You always need camera. Yeah, I didn't know that. You tricked me. Hello. Hello. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you.
My bad. I started on time, which is not a good option, right? That was my bad. As I said to the audience, my name is Radovan Bacovic. Thank you for coming. I know it's 4 p.m. and lunch is passing. Last coffee break is passing. And yeah, I want to optimistically start on time, but it's not a French way. That is what they screw Paris away. As I said, Paris is always a good idea, as well the Kepler said. And as I told to them already, I was here with the family. Beautiful city, everything is beautiful. Nice conference. I attended a couple of workshops outside of the IT business, and it was full refreshment for me. But now we are going more technically. We'll talk about our use case. I'm working in a company called GitLab, and I'm staff data engineer, like something like lead engineer. And then I want to explain you how we develop the AI product, what is the drawbacks, concerns, success story, what you should do, what you shouldn't do if you want to go for our experience. Of course, I'm here personally, this is a community event, and whatever I say is not related to GitLab, so I can swear, can be rude, can put some jokes, up to me. Why beyond the hike? Honeymoon, everyone is talking about AI these days here, and everyone has something or develops something, but usually they attach to some API model and try to create the application, of course. That honeymoon is done. And we want to see what is beyond that. We tackle the buzzwords in IT industry, like big data, like Scrum, like Agile. There is always some way we change the world forever. But of course, let's see the relationship between data and AI and DevSecOps world. By the way, are you using AI in your daily work or life, right? Who is using? And of course, we are producing DevSecOps or DevOps platform. I know some of you are using. Who is also using DevOps platform for automation? So mainly people from IT business, right? Which is cool. Of course, all browsers produce several experts in this area, probably the fastest ping in the world. I don't want to be that guy. I want to give you the real story if it's possible. I hope you'll be inspired out of that. Our company is called GitLab, and it's very unique. It's very, very transparent, and probably most transparent company in the world. I don't know if it's true or not, but when we go public in 2021 in October on NASDAQ, it was reported on YouTube. I think it was first reported video for NASDAQ go public. You can check it on the internet, of course. Beyond that, we want to be very transparent. We have something called GitLab Handbook. Our operational model, whatever we are doing, is exposed in GitLab. If you Google and say GitLab Handbook, data team, you will find my contribution there. Or if you like Python, you can go and say GitLab Handbook Python guideline, and see my contribution. How are you using Python? How are you using DBT? How we create something? How we hire the people? What the expectations are? What project we are doing, etc. We are all remote from the beginning. No office is no problem for us, and we are the biggest all remote company in the world. What does it mean? We have no headquarters, we have no satellite hub office, we just have work from anywhere you want in the world, no constraints. And we are a global leader in distributed work. And of course, towards some money, we need to do something. What we are doing, we create one thing, and we are doing good. We create protocol, GitLab, of course, you guess. And it's DevSecOps platform deliver a single application to calculate it faster and create your beautiful products. 1 year ago, I would say this is DevOps product, but now it's DevSecOps platform. Things are changing dramatically these days. You know this Magic Garden quadrant. If you're talking about DevSecOps platform, we are here together with our friends for Microsoft, Atlassian Games, AWS, and so on. So I think we are pretty much relevant to tell you the story like this. This is something new emerged, and it's category for AI code assistance. Claude, Cursor, everything. We are also here because on the top of our product, we produce our AI assistants called GitLab Duo. We'll talk about that later, and I will tell you the story how we created that. Where DevSecOps is going. You told me, I trust you, you know what DevSecOps is, and let's decode it together. Is it a tool to help you to sort out all of your problems every single day in software development area? Is it a philosophy to give you a lot of questions without providing answer, and answer is on you? Is it kind of holy grail, like a magic? Or big red shiny button, sort out all of your problems, make you super fast? Or is it a methodology with predefined steps, predefined processes, and post outcomes on the top of that as a transition to the new stage? Or is it a buzzword, right? We talk about that. You know, big data, Scrum, Agile, now AI. Everyone wants to monetize it. I would say, my personal opinion, DevOps or DevSecOps is a little bit of everything, including buzzwords. Shortest history, DevSecOps. Usually we're talking about the history, we're talking about decades, centuries, ages, level. This took not more than 12 years, if you ask me. How everything started, there's kind of few older guys, they can remember, there's something called silo DevOps, very isolated. It means bring your own DevOps. I create a script, and they claim my script is super efficient, and it's true, and they do the deployment outside the box and press of the button. Of course, this wasn't true, and everything was screwed up. What was the problem? Each team and each department has their own script. They claimed it's a really holy grail. Then we moved to transition to fragmented DevOps. Tools emerged on the market, and they want to say, okay, we want to choose best in class for our DevOps and wrap up that master as a single platform. Of course, far away from perfection. Why? Integration is the problem, of course. We spent in prior company, in my previous life, I don't know, a couple of months to introduce, let's say, Jenkins, connect it with Git, and move from SVN, Jira, Atlassian, you know the drill. Then, some companies claim, okay, we know what we're doing, we want to share our experience, we will build our own tool, like us, like GitHub, like Atlassian, and so on. And we call it do-it-yourself DevOps. Also, this has a problem, because still everything was scattered. These days, we're moving here to DevSecOps platform era, and everything is going as a platform. You're one button press away, you're up and running your tool, and create your beautiful software. What I want to say, you see the difference from DevOps, we're moving to DevSecOps. My friends told me you should call DevSecOps, but it's a keep offended. So we'll not use it. Let's use it DevSecOps, right? And of course, we have our solution. As I said, it's called GitLab Duo, and it's AI-powered workflow, boost your efficiency, make you moving faster, and reduce the cycle time. Of course, each and every manager will talk about reducing the cost, reducing the cycle time, increase the efficiency. And this is probably a silver bullet, or probably a less worse solution, how to say, can help you to do your work better. From my experience, I'm using GitLab Duo on a daily basis. I won't say this is the best tool, you can use your own, but what is the point? It will not replace you, it's not smart enough, it's not good enough. You should use and leverage your experience and have a good assistant on your shoulder to be really productive in case you know what you're doing. It was a talk in the morning about what will happen with junior developers. If you don't know what you're doing, you will create a lot of garbage in, garbage out, because you don't really understand the business value, you don't understand the process and how AI can help you. There is no way for that. You know this infinite loop, very popular these days, from development and planning stage through security and compliance outside of the box and operational part. You should have one or several tools, but should be orchestrated as a single platform. I'm worst bestseller or seller in the world. I don't want to sell you anything, just to expose you our example and how we are doing that. Each and every stage of software development lifecycle should be automated as much as possible. And much is the beauty on that. On the top of this, in each and every stage, you should loom AI to enhance your potential and your work. Because if you are going, let's say, only to secure packages and everything else with AI, it will also out a problem. You need comprehensive mindset, comprehensive methodology from end to end in software development lifecycle. If you're lazy like me, it's not Friday, but it's afternoon, this is what you should remember. This is more than enough for the beginning. Plan, create, verify package, secure, release, configure, monitor, protect, and manage. This is what every software should have and be supported. Well, I rely on GitLab report. We did a survey on 3 to 5K companies with many IT professionals because we want to understand how they're using the software, what they expect for us and for the product, so we can improve and leverage our product. So I want to share some numbers with you. I don't want to kill you by PowerPoint, but this can be crispy. If anyone guess what is the top one priority for 2025, I will give you a beer, but I'm flying tonight, so probably that will not happen, but it will be very good if you guess. I didn't guess. On the 5th place, cloud computing. You know, we talk about that on-prem, because of many reasons you're on-prem, but many companies want to go to cloud because they somehow calculate it will be much more payoff for that. Automation, of course, I want to do a button press, avoid any kind of manual work for many reasons, and then have all process under one bundle in the toolchain and execute really, really quickly and easily. Of course, DevSecOps platform. I don't know how heavily you are in this methodology, philosophy, buzzword calling DevSecOps, but you should think how to narrow the time to market. Without supporting this toolchain in age of AI, it will be very difficult to survive. AI in second place. I expect it will be here, but it's here. And number one is, anyone can guess?
Security.
Yes, security. DevSecOps, right? Most of the companies are still very aware and try to go beyond their hype because of the security. As I said, AI, like teenage sex, everyone talk about that, no one beat it, but security is a real deal. That is what leadership and developers and IT professionals should focus on. How you are using AI today, or guys from using GitLab? What do you think? AI, they claim, is must-have these days, of course. There is a toolchain in the age of AI. We already explained all stages of the development life cycle, but team wants AI to integrate into all aspects, into all stages of software developer life cycle, and they want to unlock AI full potential. This is a bullshit, if you ask me. So let's go with the real deal and the numbers. People, IT professionals from any age, on any stage, come out from IT professionals' roles, want to have code suggestions or code completion. 45% of them say, yeah, I need this. This is number one use case. That's the reason why Cursor, why GitLab Duo, GitHub, can success. Explanation what piece of code works. Especially this is good for management and leadership. They don't know how to code or they forget how in a good way, but they want to understand this. Also for me it's good. I can never use C++. I use some other programming language, but if I see C++ code, I want to be one button click away to understand what that code is doing. Summaries of code changes. This is very nice because how it's going with my workflow today. I create a code, I use GitLab Duo to create test cases to refactor my code, and then I go to Claude or GitLab Duo and say, okay, sum up this for me, create a readme file because I'm lazy, right? And I have everything I need outside as well. So I'm probably here. Chatbots. I want to explain in place in English or French language or Serbian language in my case, how to interact with my master, with my sister. It should be a two-way street, right? That is also what people want. Currently, I work on a project boosted by AI, Butter included, to organize chatbot to speak with our data in our data platform in GitLab. It's a very difficult task for many reasons, but I want to unleash anyone who is not IT expert like us or deeply geek in a code to do the same similarity what I'm doing, but in really plain English language. Summaries of code review. We acquired one company who is actually assigned the best person in that area who can do code review for you. If you're a developer, you know how painful can be this, because if you're working in a large company like telecom, like man, if you're a couple of thousand developers, like who is expert in this area? Who can do the best code review for me? And AI can help you here, and also people say, yeah, it can be done.
I'm surprised to not see QA stuff like the best is.
It's below. Because I also agree with you, I heavily use AI on testing, for testing. 99% is created because it's very determined, right? If you do a code, it's determined thing against AI, which is very fuzzy, right? But also you can rely on code. 1 + 1 is always 2. And with that determination, you can easily tell AI, okay, creating test cases. This is how you operate. And then push everything to pipelines. 9 of 10 times everything is outside the box and working perfectly. I was also surprised, but I think it's below 5. But actually, this is what people told to us, which is kind of a bit surprised also with security. I would say everyone is talking about AI, but no, security is number one thing still, which is good for us, right? Top use cases. This is more for management part, I would say, especially the first one. I want to see how productive my team is. People usually forget how to measure something, what to measure, what not to measure, and I want to see anomalies across the software development life cycle. So this is also about quality of the code. I would say first one is productivity against code quality, which is great. I like it. Second one is iterative related to security. I want to see vulnerability and how could I remedy that. If you're using GitLab and pay to us or not pay to us, there is explanation. You have CI/CD pipeline. It's automated piece work doing something. Testing, production, Python test, dbt test, touch database, whatever. If something is wrong and my pipeline failed, AI can tell me, okay, your pipeline failed because of this, and this is how you can sort out the problem. And it's really working. Why? Because it's still determinated. You hear error. Based on that error, someone will Google it for you, prepare the answer, and provide the answer. Before you go to Stack Overflow and do it by yourself, now it's one button press away. Chatbots also, we talk about that. I want to unleash and leverage non-technical user to be very technical. Like also one project from our end, we are using text-to-SQL transformation and execute that SQL on top of our data. So actually our finance department is available and capable, even they're not experts in SQL, they know and heard about SQL, in playing in language in English in this case, to tell me, okay, I want to have finance data, ARR, XMAU, whatever, we transform it to SQL and execute the SQL. And also our model is learning in real time. Also, I did appendix on the application and I say, okay, this translation is good or not, so also I can monitor how they behave. So this is a good use case for AI. If you think in that direction, this can be tricky, but it can buy you a great value, provide a great value for business because it's easy win and they can see results. Suggestions for code reviewer, for review change and everything else. Also, we tackle this as well, not directly related to security, but also to fix pipeline. Sometimes pipeline fail because of security, like your code is not secure, you're using not secure Python library, which is typical case for us, or this version is obsolete and not secure anymore. This is called SAS test or something, we have it automatically, yes?
When you say fixing means it's gonna upgrade libraries for you or?
Yes and no. I will tell you the story. Beyond GitLab Duo is one more product called GitLab Duo Workflow. And GitLab Duo Workflow is, how to say, a wrapper around GitLab Duo. So you have AI assistant and you have junior developer capability to sort out the easier problem. That is what I will doing from tomorrow when I go back home. What did this GitLab Duo Workflow will try to define the problem. This is the flow. I have pipeline. I run pipeline, it's run automatically. It failed. Based on the error, GitLab Duo Workflow organize the issue and steps how to fix the issue. And we want to play and challenge that tool. Is it capable to replace the junior developers, right? Because you have very determined steps. Like, okay, I need new column or new table in existing pipeline. So this is the chain I need to satisfy. So that's also question, yes, but you need to use one more tool. Okay, it's built in and load through GitLab. So there is no any installation. It's there already, right, if you pay. This can be interesting. Like we asked the people, do you use AI or do you plan to use AI? In which term or time frame? We found on the left side, from the top to bottom. Yes, we are currently using AI in the software development life cycle, and this dramatically changed year on year. Through the no, we don't want to use or have no any plans to use or introduce AI. It's just 7% of them. And what is super interesting here, if you discard the in-between options, on the top, year on year, this is how it dramatically grows. So it will be really buzzword AI or the right? On the bottom, also minus 52% year on year are decreasing like no, we don't want to use AI. Definitely everything is going in this direction. So the question for tomorrow beyond the hype is how you should incorporate and leverage using of AI in your company. That's conclusion from our survey. Also for leadership or for professionals, most of them say, yep, we want to use AI, but what is concerned? Privacy and security. I think this is very, very good. Why? Because if you're just talking about AI like a buzzword, there are plenty of issues can happen under the hood because of security. One of my colleagues, his data security engineer, he was on hackathon and he breached the system for, healthcare in India. And he got all data about people healing in that hospital or something like that. So it's super, super dangerous. AI is for good. It can be misused and used for some bad purpose. But still, this is concerned. So please, if you're a leader in your company, provide good security and good privacy and compliance. What about training and resources using AI? Are you trained well to use AI in a good way? 25% of individual contributors, developers, in case said, yeah, we don't have adequate training, but the managers and leadership said a bit different. We should be much, much in sync, right? And also leadership, please provide your people proper and adequate training how to use AI. It's not just, okay, I will sort out all the problem. No, it will never happen. But they need more training, 81%. This is calling alarm for leadership. I don't know, something changed in the last few months or what is the current situation in France. Our survey was global trend and it showed us, okay, please, people are crying for good training. Provide them good training and then train them and then they will use AI for the good. And you can protect your company or organization. What developers want, as an individual contributor, they said, I like these numbers because it's a combination of technical, human touch, and remote work. They want to increase automation, 7% of them said initially, and they want to improve collaboration. They want to collaborate with the people, so there is no more cowboy coding, you should be part of the team. And that teamwork is probably the future skills everyone needs. Then, as everyone say, I'm underpaid, same as you, everyone. So this is funny, this is human touch. We want to use AI assistant or AI agent. Depends of your industry and use case. And they also still not only take about technical, take care of effective, they would work arrangement like remote work, flexible work, asynchronous work, flexible hours. It's completely separate topic, but I think it's good to wrap up everything here. It's not about technology nor AI. Well, our company jumped into LLM stuff, AI stuff, AI development. Why? Our leadership say win or die. As per these numbers, you will not survive if you not incorporate it. So we leave everything behind, put our 100% focus to create AI stuff, and leadership increase and iterate and say, okay, this is not priority, this is not priority. Priority is to provide a good, high quality agent to support the software development life cycle. Everyone is having that, also you should have that, right? But at the end, it's a marketing thing. Last year I was one of the biggest conference regarding data. Before title was data something, now it's AI something. Speakers are the same, food is the same, venue is the same, everything is the same. They just put AI on the top of each title just to attract the people. But still, journey is long. Well, how you should success if you create or plan to create any kind of AI product? We have something called iteration. If you dream big, you either want to go to small steps or disruptive approach. Up to you. High risk, high reward with disruptive approach. With iterative approach, you're moving slowly in small steps, but you're going in that direction. If you have a problem to deliver something really big, I suggest you to go and create iterative steps, very small steps, move forward all the time. Don't slow down, keep a pace. Incrementally, build your product on the top of that with new functionality, everything your users requested. How you can solve out the problem? With horizontal slicing to vertical slicing. It's very obvious what it is. You want to slice it horizontally, so descope it, or vertically slicing also to descope it and provide part of the functionality. You can be paralyzed by analysis if you want to do everything. How you should eat elephant, piece by piece in smaller pieces. How to leverage dog fooding? Do you know what dog fooding is? Okay, it's not about dog, it's not about the food. I will explain it now. We have something in GitLab we call dog food. As I said, it's not about the dog, it's not about the food, but it's about dog food. We produce the product. You produce the product, you create some products. You should be customer zero, first customer, to eat your own food, to use what you built. And as per definition, it's If you want to understand your product before your customer and try to avoid any kind of high risk, you should eat your own food you produce. Some companies doesn't have their own products, use or create something, then try to use it before the customers because it was too expensive to fix the error. So that's one of the advice or how we survive all of these things. So we started, let's say, we're going to create a GitLab Duo. We started with one model, switch to another model, use some models parallelly, or in fact, build our own. And after some time, we pivotize very quickly. Okay, this is not fair for us, let's move forward. Because we use iterative approach, we try to eat our own food. We are the testers. When to pivot your development without regret? Sometimes you have trajectory, you have plans, everything is written down in sheets, in documents, you have time planned and enough, but life happens and shit happens. For us, it was about finance and operations, but not because only that. Let's spend a few words on that. What is a FinOps? It's how we operate with our finance. We have a budget per project. There is no unlimited money. These days, of course, everything is expensive. So we want to have and improve allocation of the money and spend, increase awareness about that. We want to stick with unit economics. Of course, leadership like it, cost optimization. There is very limited resources these days. On our side, as GitLab, we have several constraints. Our infrastructure changes very frequently. We want to be very cloud agnostic. We want to go here or there. You can host GitLab on any major cloud provider, and it comes with a price. We have a different insights, especially if it comes to analytics. Finance is seeing one numbers, product something else, EGA requires fourth thing. We have full remote setup in 50 plus countries. It makes everything more complex, and we have many cloud providers. But we commit to our customers and to ourselves and said, okay, we have multiple environments and multiple shapes. I said it's a one product, but it comes like GitLab.com, like typical SaaS. You pay or using it for free for open source, but you have one instance. It's somewhere on GitLab.com. GitLab Dedicate is a private cloud. You get URL. We do have everything for you, security, compliance, everything, like typical cloud product. Also AI features, runners, and so on. We want to be cloud agnostic, to be able to move, or you be able as our customer to move from one to another cloud. And this is super complex cost analysis and management around FinOps. Well, we need cloud build and usage as SOT. How we sort out this? I was involved in this product. Many sources are creating cost. You have many points. You create a use API to put everything data platform and can single source of truth for your cost. What was the problem? For some providers, you don't have typical RESTful API endpoint to get the low cost. You should calculate it on your own and create some metrics. Very interesting project. And then you have how much does it cost you to create project like this? Because also regarding AI, it's about the cost. Beyond the hype, finance and leadership will ask you how much does it cost? Where is the revenue? How much money you should earn? That's typical question. So it's not about the hype, right? How do you measure your success? As I said, people often forget to measure what they are doing and how they operate. If you have a couple of hundred or thousand developers, you should know where you are going, how your team or teams perform. In DevSecOps world, king or queen in this case is DORA metrics. It stands for Development Assessment, Research Assessment. And if you'll answer 4 questions, this is addition. So DORA will say to us how often you deploy your code. Does it happen all the time, CI/CD? Does it happen monthly, yearly, weekly, whatever? What is lead time for changes? What is the time between your code is ready to go to production until your code is working properly as per design on production? As life happens, what is your time to restore the service? Do you wait hours to fix it? Minutes? Can you roll back? One bank in Slovenia, a few months back, spent, I think, 7 days off of downtime. It's crazy because they do not have a backup, they don't have a rollback, well, nothing. If you're in the DevSecOps world, if you're doing fast, you have a very frequent deployment, we have very small increment, right? But the bank is a big complex story, compliance and other stuff. What is your change failure rate? What does it mean? If you have a regular deployment, how often you push hotfix beyond that, right? And it will tell you the story about how reliable, how quality is how much quality you have in your platform. Also regarding DORA metrics, if you use it, despite the tool you're using, you can do it in a sheets, will answer the question and distinguish you, are you a elite performer or you're under or below average. This is good to have, and this is mandatory to have these days. You should measure what you're doing, you should measure your success. And this is just a picture of how it looks like in our reports. Well, how do we measure your success? We as a GitLab want to know, without putting any kind of private personal data, and see how you're using our product. Typical diagram, we can use ID tool by your choice, and then in our ecosystem, as we said, you can use GitLab in any of these shapes. Dedicated self-managed SaaS. I spoke with the guy, he's using self-managed, we're using SaaS. You can think of large enterprises, Emirates, Rivian, they're using dedicated and private cloud. But what is in common for them? Despite the installation, you can use GitLab Duo as a plugin or directly as a web IDE in our ecosystem. And then we have something called Snowplow. It's an analytic tool like Google Analytics. Whatever you're doing with the product, we capture the data and put it to Snowflake. It means we want to know how you're using our product. Then we can make it better. On the other side, from our ecosystem, we have something called Value-Stream Analytics. And it's an analytics ecosystem, so you can see how you operate. So this is one size fits all. In this ecosystem, we capture the data for you and capture the data for us with our training, and everything is compliant. Because you can see how you're operating, we can see how we are. And of course, our business in Tableau or any other tool can see the performance. What questions do you have for me? I hope it was interesting for you or something new, or you can be inspired or see any questions from your side.
I think all developers are asking the same question.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's what do we then back from their job?
Sorry, what was the question?
You are the blog, no? Or, yeah, so implementing the AI, so
with them after presentation of the future of the future. So I think it's gonna be something similar to Industrial Revolution. Yeah, machine go to factories, places you know, remain only some. Yeah, we will find people.
We will do poetry in art. I don't think so. Actually, the bar will rise and it will be more demanded. Like, okay, you should do more because now you have a tool. My personal opinion, this is a really disruptive technology, because first time it's kind of can be potentially smarter than us. Before, for first industrial revolution is just a machine, right? Any machine do not without your control. Or production the nuts. Exactly, yeah. And plus, it can be messy because everyone can jump on it and create a lot of garbage. Now, I'm using Claude. Claude is really impressive tool and help them a lot. But you cannot fight a lot of fluff inside. You should control it all the time. Should be really your support or assistant here. You don't need to pay it for them. But still, it will probably go in that direction. No one knows what will happen tomorrow. But currently, I would say if you know what they're doing, you're good, but new jobs will emerge. With any revolution is coming like, okay, no, there's not too many horses because we have trains and planes and buses, but people are doing something else. But still, I think we're not doing poetry and art. We'll do our job, but in different shape. And also new things will emerge. Like, okay, you should be designer of AI system, or you will be prompt engineer. It's still existing today, or you will do some kind of training for niche AI. I think also it will go in a niche. There is no one size fits all red button. It will be like, okay, this is for medicine, this is for DevSecOps. And that was our niche we talk about today. So let's wrap it up. Yeah.
You talk about the developers, that is where there will be gap, because we increase the knowledge, the capability in the work. You will address the gaps, the new gaps that we don't even imagine now. You know, the needs, they change and they evolve according to the environment in which we are. So there are new needs that will emerge. You will be working.
yeah, it will be fifth. Ask ChatGPT, and the answer was start investing in farm.
Good for me, it can be a good answer. I'm also thinking what should I do in the future. But to be honest, there will be a huge gap. It's something new we can't imagine in the moment. Because if you take top 10 professions in last 10 years. They didn't exist 6 of 10 in last.
And I think also the evolution of the forest that we always had is like we get rid of stop-thoughtness. Before it was that it was stop to be things and cast and really the machines did it. Now the machines will take out some toughness. So maybe in your role, I understand that there is a problem-solving approach in the tool. They see where the problems, how to fix it, and they will make recommendation. So in a way, it's also the role that when design and do the architecture, then to look at. So it's how...
That's true. But my experience said what I see. AI can help you if you know what you're doing and if you focus, like laser focus on a very small unit of code. Still, AI is not on that level, can handle the entire project. Like generate me application with, 100 files and very complex architectural approach, but it will go there.
Yeah, the evolution now, like the latest version of AI are aware about the context. So this problem is coming to be resolved.
Exactly. Slowly it's going there. Yeah.
When someone says in 2032, the AI will be smarter than 1 million times.
Exactly.
I think, I take this suggestion from AI seriously to start investing in farms of water.
You should have to eat. All of us have to eat, so that will not disappear, right? But still, I would say, still someone needs to feed that animal, even it's 1 million times smarter. But there is no correct or wrong answer. It's just our assumption, right? I can see maybe next few months, because my example said 3 months back, I started this example about text-to-SQL using AI to leverage people who is not technically capable to do the stuff like we are doing. When we start the quarter 3 months back, some things that doesn't exist, didn't exist. Now everything exists and it's very good. Also with GitLab Duo, I tested it for Python. I did a lot of people with Python and I tested it. I said, okay, create function for me who is return JSON file, whatever. And he gave me something meaningless, right? It's like, fuck, we can't sell this, right? It's very bad quality. 6 months later, I use the same tool on daily basis, like say, yeah, this is great. So you know how it's changing. And also you have time frame of 3 months or 6 months now. Oh, it's really scary. And it's going exponentially, as you said. So maybe good form can be good answer.
I think the challenge that we have now is that there is the job that we do and the one which we have the capability grow. And there is as well the knowledge that you need to visa. It's like the time we spend for our job or our customer and the job or how we indeed our own capability. Because there is this rampart of capability knowledge. I think that's more the challenge for us as humans, and also the time we spend in working as well, because the machines that are constantly working, you need sleep, we need to eat, we have some...
We need to heal, we need doctor, right?
And it's how we constantly use the right balance in terms of not being exhausted, because this ramp up of building up knowledge, I don't know how to be paid and building up. I think this is the challenge for us.
There is also one good slide, sorry, there is no internet here, my internet is so bad. And one guy just do a quadrant. You have manual work, you have automated work, you have determined outcome, no determined outcome. Based on that, there is a solution who will be last replaced. And I think winners are elderly care and plumbers, because they're using manual work and it's unpredictable outcome. Each problem with plumbers is different, right? So that's what they said. I like that approach, but I don't know if it's true or not, but still it makes sense, right? You need to craft something. There is no AI machine could go and sort out your plumber problems in your buffer, right?
Yeah, and for surgery, used in machines already, because in the medical environment, they will use more and more these robots, which are still controlled by surgeons.
But there is a risk you're playing with the human, and also, AI Act is saying, okay, it should be very safe, the restrictive AI. So also you should incorporate their regulatory in that part. But let's wrap it up and continue after this. I want to tell to you, I think it's important from our standpoint, you should understand when you create AI product, how your people are using that product or consuming that product or service and what you can expect for it. And also be customer zero if it's possible. Iterate and experiment a lot. That is what we are doing. Don't be scared to fail. Fail fast, of course. Still, it's a fluff. But I would say, if you iterate, you can easily change and prioritize the direction where you're going, because software development is super complex, especially these days with AI stuff. Change without regretting know why, and when to pivot. Maybe because of the money, maybe because of the people, maybe because of the requirements. Biggest mistake you can make is if you fell in love with your product. It's completely wrong. I did it several times in my career, like, I like this product, or my boss like this product, but
There is need.
you should ask customers what they need, or you should introduce them, okay, maybe you should need this. Measure what you're doing and how you're doing. If you have customers, measure your success, measure their success, allow them, unleash them to measure they can measure their success. I think it's super important. And at the end, everything should be fine. Maybe not. Maybe you should change this slide. I always think about this math teacher protest against calculator 1966. This is the picture. I don't know if it's true or not, but always put a smile on my face because I try to convince myself, like, it should be fine. But as you said, predictions are not so bright this time because it's completely different way which is coming. So we should adopt. I think that will be the slide. Expect for the best, prepare for the worst, and embracing capitalism on what comes, even with the go too far. I think also a good idea, as Zig Ziglar said. And I can say thanks a lot, Paris. I really enjoyed the conference. This is how you should find me on LinkedIn. I'm trying to be very active there. If you have any advice for me about where to buy what farm or any kind of AI development, any concern, any bad good news, please, more than happy to connect. I'm always trying to contribute to the community, especially open source. So yeah, feel free to stay in touch. Thanks a lot one more time. Thank you. Thank you. Very close.